we have to use or repeat some similar commands. For example, I was saying every time you open the mobile system, you need to do the change directory to go to your working directory. Okay, so every time you need to do cd, then providing the entire path of your working directory. So instead of that, we have learned one basic command, that is alias command, where we can define our own command. Okay, so now today we will see how we can use the alias command in bashrc. So we don't have to define the alias command regularly, and we can use those things whenever you are going to launch the mobile system. Your defined alias command will be there. Okay, let me clear everything. So I went to home directory. Okay, and I'm typing my command, and this rc is like alias command that I have defined. Whenever I'm going to type my name, it will work the perform the cd command thing. So that cd and providing the entire path till buy-info course. Okay, so I don't have to do cd providing the entire path to buy-info course to jump into buy-info course directory. Okay, I can jump from any other directory to this buy-info course directory using this alias command that I have defined. Okay, so how I have defined, so any bash rc file we need to define in the home directory. So if I jump to home directory cd tilde, and if I can do ls minus a to list out all the files, so you can see we have dot bash profile and dot bash rc thing. So this one I have created. For example, in mobile system sometimes this home directory do not have these files, so we need to create when you want to use ls command defining some variables that you want to use regularly. Okay, but for by default, if you are going to work on servers or Linux environment, if you have Mac operating system or the Linux operating system, that time you will see you have this bash rc in your home directory thing. Okay, now if I can show you the content of the bash rc, so you can see in the bash rc file I have added one command, alias command. So alias command, so I have defined a command that is ashish, and this is the command it is going to run whenever I'm going to type my name on the terminal. It is going to perform this particular task, means change directory and the path of the change directory, means where the computer has to switch to which directory. Okay, now let's say if I remove bash rc and also remove bash profile. Okay, now if you see we do not have these two information. Now let's try to learn how to create these things. So first I was saying every time now my command this Ashish will not, so I can close the terminal once and let's restart the terminal. Now if I'm going to type my command, it is saying command not found, means there is no command with the name Ashish that I have defined because I have deleted the file where I have stored this alias command. Okay, now let's see, for example, again I have to go to the working directory, so I need to start from the root directory, then providing the drive C, then Ashish personal, then bioinfo, then build course, and this bioinfo. Okay, this is my working directory. Okay, if I have to define the ls command, so what we generally do is like we first use ls command, then providing the command or new command that we want to call. So for example, I want to create a command with my name, equal operator, and within the single quote or double quote you want to provide the command that you want to execute. So what I want, every time I'm going to type my name, I want to jump to this directory. So I'm copying the path and providing cd and paste it. Press enter. Now I'm going to do directory. And if again I want to jump to bioinfo course, I simply need to give my name and I can directly jump. Okay, this is the thing. But the problem
So
is,
Ashish,
yes,
so whenever you are doing this, Is it automatically creating the bash RC and the bash in the background?
No, we need to create.
Okay, so whatever you have done is not saved now. That's what you
No,
are trying to
this
say.
is only up to the session that I'm opening. So this is one session that we are currently working. Okay.
Okay.
For this part, wherever, for example, I went to directory pack, again I can write my command and jump into the current directory that I'm looking for.
So once you close this terminal, is it going to be saved or it
No,
will go off?
it will go up. So that I'm going to
Um,
show the next part. So for example,
okay.
again I close it and
Okay.
I again relaunch the new session
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to type my command.
Okay.
It is the
So
command
it's
not,
gone.
yes. So if
And
suppose,
this is in case of only alias command or all the commands.
no, alias command is like for our simplicity. All the command that we are performing on the terminal, that is only for the session thing.
So they will be already there, right, in the backup. Only this one, because it's not there and we are creating it, we need to save it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
So first thing we have learned how to create the alias command and how we can use it for a session. Okay. But for example, you don't want to define the alias command every time you are going to launch the move action or the session. So that time what you have to do, you need to create a file in the home directory. So you just need to jump into, so for example, wherever you are, you need to use cd tilde symbol, it will jump into the home directory. Now I need to create a bashrc file. So I can simply do touch bash rc. Okay, so the file name is bashrc and dot is because these files should be hidden. Okay, so we don't want to show it as like the normal files or folders. So touch dot bash rc, press enter. So I have created a file. If you are going to do ls, you are not able to say it. So you need to do ls minus a or ls minus l. So now you can see we have dot bash rc file that we have created. Now if I open the bash rc, press enter. Now what I need to do, I need to add my ls command. So first I need to do one thing. Let me copy the, if I have in the history the entire directory, so I can copy the command. Let me clear the screen and let me use again vim bash rc insert mode and let me paste it. Okay, so what I did again, this time I have created a bash rc file. The ls command I was creating on the terminal, this time I'm creating within a file, that is the bash rc file. So I have defined an alias command, the command, that name of the new command, equal operator, and within the code defining the command that I'm going to execute. Okay, just need to save it. So as of now you can see, we can see the content of this file. So I can see I only have this particular single line. Okay, if I am going to type my name again, it will show there is no command because we haven't sourced it. Whenever you are going to add anything in the bash rc, you need to source it. Source it means it is ready to execute. So what I'm trying to do, so you need to source and providing the file name. So bash rc, whenever you are going to source it means you are going to execute this file, and whatever the things that are there in the bash rc, that is going to be executed. Okay, so now I have applied the source command. So it means whatever the command I had, alias command or defining any variable, so whatever the information I have in the bash rc, that is already executed, so I can use it now. Now I'm going to execute my name. I can directly jump to my info course. Like what we did, we first tried to create the alias command on the terminal and we have used it, but it was only related to the session part. Whenever you are going to close the session, the alias command will go out. So it will not be there. Then again you need to define the alias command. So this time what we did, instead of defining in the terminal with the alias command, I have created a bashrc file where I have given my alias command and then source the bashrc and then I can use my alias command. Okay. Now the difference here is, now if I'm going to close the terminal, means the close the session part, and need to open the file, I can see my bashrc file is there. But if you're going to type the command, again it will show the command is not there. The reason is, every time you are going to open the terminal, you need to source the bashrc files, because automatically it is not going to run the bashrc file whenever you are going to launch the terminal. So it is not going to run this bashrc file. So what you have to do, every time whenever you are going to open the terminal, you need to run this command first, source and bashrc. Okay, enter. Now I have executed this command, means whatever the commands I have in bashrc, now it is executed. Now this my access command will work. So this is the second thing. First the session alias command, then defining the alias command in bashrc, and how we can source it before running it. And one more point, so because you all are beginners, so right now whenever you need to source it, for example, so right now I'm using this thing. So what exactly it is mean? So the command should be source and the bashrc file name. Okay. But for example, I'm trying to source it from the bioinformatics course, so it will not work because this is not the path. Okay. I was doing in the home directory, so home directory has this file, so we can use the relative path. But for example, if you have to access any file that is present at different location, so what you can do, you can provide the absolute path. So I can do home directory path. So tilde is means my starting with the home directory. So every time we separate folder directory with a forward slash, okay, and then providing the file name bashrc. Okay, this is the way you can run the bashrc file when you are in different directory or different folders. Okay, but I was at home directory, so simply I was doing source dot bashrc because I have the bashrc file in the this my home directory where I'm working. Okay, but when I need to run the same bashrc file, I need to source it from other directories, so I need to provide the complete path of the bashrc file. Okay, now let's say till now we have resolved one solution, like we don't have to define the alias command every time. But the problem is we have to source it every time whenever we are going to launch the mobile system. Now the second problem we can solve it. First problem we have solved it, like we don't have to define the ls command, so we are using bashrc file. But the second problem is, we again every time we are going to launch the mobile system, we need to source it. Then only we can use all the ls command that we have defined in the bashrc file. Okay, so what we have to do, need to create a bash profile thing. Okay, so I have also mentioned in this particular thing. So the total steps are like, first we went to home directory and then created a bashrc file that I have shown. Okay. Then I have added my ls command in the bashrc files. That was like cd command and jumping into the directory that I want to work. Okay. Then I save the file, whatever the changes I made in the bashrc file. Then I run the command that is source and providing the bashrc. So for example, tilde means from home directory forward slash and the file name dot bashrc. It will source the bashrc file. Okay. Then you can run the command that I was running, my name Ashish, because I have created using alias in bashrc file. Okay. Then what I did, close the terminal, again restart the terminal or new session. Again I was trying to run the alias command that I have created in the bashrc, but I was getting error, no such command is there. Okay. Now again what you have to do, now the third task to solve the second problem is create a bash profile. Okay. So again what we have to do, we need to go to the home directory. Okay, cd and home directory, and this time we will create a new file that will be dot bash profile. Okay, and within the bash profile we are going to add a simple command, so which I will explain what exactly it is, and then again we will restart the terminal and Then after that we don't have to source the bashrc file. It will do automatically. Okay, so let's do it. So I can create dot bash profile. Okay, and if I'm going to open the bash profile, went to insert mode, and the command is, for example, this is a command. I'll explain it. So this is the home directory and the file is bashrc, and we need to source the bashrc files. So I'm giving this. So see what is the command we are writing. So this is the first command. So here we are combining two commands. You can see AND operator. AND operator in the coding or in the computational part is means when first condition is true, then only it is going to implement the second thing. Okay, so this is the first condition and this is the second condition. So this is the first code and this is the second code. We have AND or operator. Or means any, if any of the condition is working fine, okay, it will run. But if we have to implement the second part, if we have the AND condition, this condition should be true. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, like, I have defined within the shell script, like this is the way to fetch any file. So minus f option is for file, means like they are checking whether in my home directory whether dot bash rc file is there or not. Okay, for example, if it is not there, then it is not going to source it, means it is not going to execute the bash rc file. If the bash rc file is there in the home directory, so the next task is need to source the file. Whatever we were doing on the terminal by own, that part I have defined in the bash profile, though, so I don't have to do the source bash rc thing. What I'm trying to say is within this bracket part, so we will learn how to use this shell script thing. So this is a shell script command thing. So within a shell script I have added a command. So the first command is minus f and providing the path of the bash rc. So what it is doing, minus f option is means the my system will check whether the bash rc file is there or not. Okay, and the
Okay.
output will give true or false. If bash rc file is there, it means we will get true thing. If .bash rc file is absent in my home directory, it will give false. Okay, based on true or false, it is going to execute the second command. So for example, if we are getting true, then only it is going to source the bash rc file. If we do not have the bash rc file, so it is not able to do source it, it will throw an error. So we don't want to have an error. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, when we have this bash rc files, okay, then go for source it. If we do not have the bash rc files, don't do anything. So similar thing, there is a one more way to define the same thing. I can just write for first thing. So I have defined using the dollar home symbol for the home directory. Instead of that, you can use tilde. Whatever we were doing in the this thing, this will also work. Okay, but I'm using this tilde, sorry, yeah, dollar and home symbol that is represented for the home directory, and then providing the file name. Same way I'm doing the source command and then providing the home directory path and the file name. Okay, now I have saved it. Now I can see the content of bash profile. You can see I have a single line of code in the bash profile. Now I can close the terminal and again restart the terminal. Now I can see the files. I can see I have bashrc bash profile and I don't have to source it this time. I can directly use my command. So this is the thing, bash profile, because whenever you're going to launch the session or the terminal, this file is going to execute automatically. So what I have added in this particular thing, it is going to execute. So I have added, whenever this file is going to execute a command that was there to like verify if .bash rc file is there. If it is there, then shows it. So we don't have to do manually on the terminal part. So this is the why we need this bashrc, like use them to set environment variables, then customize your path variables, or we can create alias that I have shown one example that we commonly use in command line to do our task. So these things we can do using bashrc and bash profile.